Hi, I'm Kenneth Faried, aka the Manimal, age 35. I play for Pallacanestro, Reggiana. My motto is just every game, every play, every possession, you never know what it could be your last, so give it your all each and every game, man. I always got rebounds, especially when I was younger, more so because my mom, lupus, it's kind of made me even go harder because I never know when it could be not my last game, but her last game watching me. So I want her to see me flourishing and doing my best and playing a game that she saw me as a kid play just for free, and now I get money to play it and do so having fun. I love the game. My story is I love the game. Started at a young age. My mom and dad watching them play, basically out the womb. They took me to the park at a young age, had me in the stroller watching them play. My dad, he just played so physical and would tell my mom, shoot the ball. I got every rebound. And I always wondered how at 6 foot, he would get rebounds and just do the things he did, block shots, set good screens, and just do the things he did and playing hard. And it really didn't show up on the stat sheet, the stuff he did, but it always show up like people wanting to pick him first and have him on their team.
Brought something that is so rare to see, that energy, grabbing a ball, going to rebound, diving for the ball. And with all these years, I see a red line that connects all these dots, and his love for the game. That's what I can see every day. The way he's practicing, coming before, staying after, enjoying, even sometimes at the end of the practice when many players left, you can see he stayed there with a young guy, try to teach him things. All this comes from his love for the game, his passion for the game.
For me, it didn't even start with pickup games. It started with just my mom and dad shooting the ball. And I'm on the court trying to shoot the ball. And they wouldn't let me, at the sense, just get the ball easily like most kids or like most parents. They would probably give their kid the ball so they can shoot. Like, oh, I'll get the rebound for you, you shoot. No, they basically told me you better get the rebound yourself or you won't shoot the ball. And so that made me hustle that much harder because I'm playing against adults, and maybe sometimes they let me get it if I put the effort in a lot. But other than that, it was more so, hey, I gotta go try to do it myself. That stuck with me from a young age. Like, if I wanna have the ball, if I wanna do anything with dealing with basketball, I have to rebound the ball. That's been my mindset for my whole career and continue to do so. Because if I get the rebound defensively or offensively, I have the choice to do whatever I want with the ball.
I would say he's artist of rebound or specialist. First, because of his natural abilities and skills. He's an athletic person. Second, because he has a great sense of timing. Third, because he's very greedy. In a nice word, because this word is a particular word. His hands also are very effective. If the ball is somewhere close, it's impossible somebody else to get it.
Religion has helped me a lot. Being Muslim for me has helped me a lot. To me, it keeps me grounded. It keeps me aware of just myself and the power that I have, not just as a man, but as a spiritual being, to be able to pray to something higher and believe in something higher, and that person grants you blessings that you thought was maybe at one time could have been a blessing, but he's giving you even a different blessing that's even better. Honestly, my heart is big, and my mother came to me at a young age saying how she was a lesbian and she was going to be with a woman, and me being Muslim, it was very controversial. Everybody's very controversial about it, but I believe God, Allah, has a plan for everybody, and he didn't put me on this earth to be a judge of somebody's character or a judge of a person. He put me on this earth just to live my life the way I think is best under his belief in the Quran. So when my mom told me that, it didn't shake me or make me love my mom less. No, it made me just figure out ways to support her and to help her so people will understand that this is what she wants, this is how she's found love in life. And I'm always show respect to those people because at the end of the day, it's very hard in this world, especially nowadays with social media, to actually find true love. And if you find that, cherish it and be happy. I love 𝗪𝗘𝗟𝗖𝗢. Like, I always tell people, yo, it's 𝗪𝗘𝗪𝗖𝗢, everything is written. For me, in my years making the NBA, then even getting out of the NBA at a young age and still in my prime, at first I thought, man, this sucks and why this happened, God? Like, then I had to think about it and sit back and I just like, you know what? Maybe this happens to me for a reason because there was a lot of negative things that was happening to me while in the NBA that people didn't know about. It was behind the scenes more so. And I kind of keep it that way because, you know, more money, they say, more problems. I was looking for schools for my kids to go to, and I was looking for programs that was, to me, the best program for them to feel more free and like just able to do pretty much whatever they wanted, but at the same token in a learning environment that's nurturing to them for growth more so. Me and my wife at the time was looking at the Reggio Emilia program. Then for some reason my agent calls me and said, hey, Reggio wants you to come out here and play for them. And I'm like, who? Wait, this is confusing. Like, are you sure?
The first time I met Kenneth was a Final Four in Berlin. He was a guest from Adidas, so we had a chance to have a lunch with friends. So it was my first meeting with him. I remember him as a big NBA star, but an humble guy.
I'm like, okay, hold on. What type of like league is it? Like, he's like, you gonna play in the Italian league in the BCL? And I'm like, okay, wait, Basketball Champions League, that's one of the top leagues in Europe. Yeah, I'm down for that. I get to play against top teams and stuff that's in Italy, who I know I get to play against some old friends in the NBA. Okay, you know what, this may be a little fun. Like, I'll give it a try.
Of course, every time you recruit, you sign up players, you see videos, you see stats. There is a lot of things that can help you today, but there is nothing more important than the intel that we try to get. And especially something for me is very important is let's talk with the teammates that play with him, because there is nothing more fair and important of the judgment of who play with you. For me, that's a key point in terms of how the quality of the person, not only the players. And this is something that we really value here in Reggio Emilia. And the phone call, the message that I got from Danilo Gallinari, it was great. I remember Danilo told me he was so happy, first of all. Kenny is an amazing person, one of my best teammates I've had. And Claudio, be sure that if he's just going to be half of the Kenneth that used to be, it's going to be huge. I signed what Danilo said.
My first impression, I was thinking like, uh-oh, team's in trouble now because he's exactly what we needed. You know, the way he plays in Europe is not that many players that play like a Manimal every minute they're in the game. You know, every basketball that's in the air for a rebound, he going after it. Every loose ball, he going after it. He's the type of guy that, I mean, he'll change your team. So when I found out he was coming here, I was extremely happy, you know, as a player and as a fan, just to be able to see his work ethic and, you know, to really understand is he like this during practice too, which he is, like, you know, so it's just been a great experience and a huge plus for our club.
I heard Europe at first. I had a bad experience here, and there's nothing against 𝗪𝗪. 𝗪𝗪 was great for me. It's just the way my minutes and the way I got to play the game, I was non-existent when I first got here. So I was very scared that could happen to me again. But I got to talk to the coach, and I got to talk to Claudio, and I got to talk to even Gallo, and those guys like, no, they don't want you to just come there to sit on the bench and to be a spot holder. They want you to actually come there and be you. You may not start right away, or you may not start at all, but we know that you can come out and play, and we want you to basically nurture this young guy named Momo. I'm like, okay, you know, I am getting older, and I am in a veteran leadership mode, so let me go out here and help this young kid make his dream come true one day. At the same token, show him that I still got it, and if you want to reach your dream, you got to go against me every day, so I'm going to make you that much better so you can reach your dream.
That's, for us, is one of the reasons we brought him here. We really believe that with young players we can talk, we can tell many things, but there is nothing more important than an example, somebody that's been there in that moment. You know, in the case of Kenneth, you know, he played in NBA and everything, so he's a daily example of what you have to do if you're young and you want to succeed, the sacrifice, the energy, and the beauty of Kenneth is that what we can see every day on the practice.
He used every time to give me advice, even in practice, even during the game. But I remember our first practice was in Lithuania when we had to play against Rytas, and we did our first contact 5-on-5, and after that we stayed like 10 minutes, and he was explaining to me how you should play post-up games, how you should like defense. Every time, even like I used to get tired, I watch him, he's like 35, he's like a vet, and he used to go on 100% every time, jumping, try to block every shot, try to go offensive rebound, try to dunk on everybody. For me, like I said, I got no excuse.
I mean, as a fan, I realized why they call him the Manimal. Being able to watch him at that level dominate, be more athletic than everybody, more explosive, and he has a knack to just keep playing. Like, he has so much tenacity as a player. I think any coach would love to have him, you know, on their team. The moments where we start flat or we start a little slow, he's able to come in and give us energy. The crowd loves him, you know, and I feel like everybody on our team, including everybody on the coaching staff, feed off of his energy. So the energy that he brings us was something that I wasn't prepared for. I didn't expect it to be as dramatic as it is.
I just remember everybody saying I couldn't again. Everybody saying at the beginning that, oh, he's just a practice player. Oh, he's not going to probably even make the team. And then when I became a starter, everybody like, oh, how's he a starter? Nah, that's not going to last. That they're going to win gold. They're probably going to try to go over there and win bronze. Like, they're not taking this serious. And I just remember a lot of people doubting me, and not so much of my teammates, because those guys were becoming all-stars. Some of them was perennial all-stars already, so they respected those guys. But me, I was just kind of the oddball out, especially starting over guys like DeMarcus Cousins and Rudy Gay and even Mason Plumlee. And that's what Coach K at the time wanted from me, just to play the game how I played, leave your egos at the door, and I've always done that. I'm a HAT, I always wore a HAT. HAT is an acronym for humble, appreciative, and thankful. At the time, all the interviews and stuff was like, I know you're just excited to be here. And I was like, no, I'm actually here to make the team and go over there and help my team in the US to win gold. And I still kind of have that mentality today. Maybe not as athletic as I used to be, but I have moments and flashes when you see the Manimal return and like, oh, he still got it. But back then it was just trying to prove everybody again wrong that I am a player here, not just for practice, but I'm actually can be a superstar on this court and in this league too. It's surreal. Surreal being here, especially where Kobe grew up playing ball at, and just being around the energy and the people who actually had the experience of being around Kobe and stuff. It's surreal to still be able to play the game and close that circle, because I had a wonderful time my first playoff experience playing against him. And I remember vividly Game 7, we were up late and we was like, oh, bye LA, we're going to the next round. We were very excited. Then I just saw Kobe look over and look at us like, okay. And next thing I know, we lost. And it was a beautiful thing, because for me, I was young and I didn't know what happened. I'm like, oh, what just happened? We were up, like we had the game in our hands. Like, how did we just lose? And I remember being in the back, like crying, like, no, like we shouldn't have lost. And I remember Kobe coming to me and we was talking and we had a great conversation. He was like, hey, you keep going hard, you keep doing what you're doing, like, you're gonna have a lot of success in this league, and like, I love your mentality and I love how hard you play, like, keep doing it. And I just couldn't do nothing but smile after that, like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm doing something right, because this man who I've watched him go against Michael Jordan, watched him go against Shaq before Shaq made it to the Lakers, watch him go against Dwight Howard and dunk on him and all this other beautiful stuff. I'm like, yo, I got a chance to do this, maybe not what he did, but I got a chance to be something special in this NBA and make a name for myself, and people are gonna remember the Manimal for the rest of my life and career. So that kind of happened for me. So it's a blessing people still to this day remember, hey, Manimal, Kenneth Faried, and Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant.
Came this person in the age of this age that he has, you know, like 35. He step in the floor and he bring the energy of somebody who is 18, 19 years old, 20 years old, and he's in the very beginning of his career. He wants to prove things, and he's ambitious. You know, these young people that they are very hungry, and you see that after all this long trip and long career in the highest level of basketball. My conclusion right now is that he doesn't know to do different. This is Kenneth. He doesn't know to go 90%. He is always 100%.
When you have a guy like him in the gym that, you know, no matter how they feel, they working hard, no matter what's going on, they working hard, they giving up their body for the, you know, betterment of the team, it makes you hold yourself accountable, you know, and I'm one of those guys personally where I'm not super vocal. I try to lead by example, so I try to come in early, work hard, stay later, do my stuff. And he's the same way, except he's vocal too, so it was like the perfect mix for what we needed.
I always try to not let anybody outplay me or disgrace myself and my nickname, Manimal, by playing not to Manimal level. So going to those other leagues, it just made me, hey, I'm here, so I'm gonna give the best Manimal impression or the best Manimal I can be and make sure people understand that just because I'm not in NBA doesn't mean I'm lazy or I gave up on my dream of playing in the NBA or playing basketball in general. No. Every time I step on the court, I don't know when it could be my last, so I give it my all each and every game.